This week on Machinery Pete TV, great care and low hours described this green lineup at the Leon Hoffmann auction. You won't believe what this beautiful 2009 7430 Premium sold for. What a beauty! Restorations don't get better than this 4020. And one man's junk, very often, can be another collector's treasure.
Your machinery is a serious investment and at the heart of every farming operation. Some call it a passion. We're Machinery Pete TV, and today we'll cover everything from auction roundups to the classics to the latest trends and technology. Machinery Pete, the most trusted name in farm equipment.
Machinery Pete thanks these premier sponsors for their support. Sullivan Auctioneers. Let our team of professionals show you how to make your auction a success. Visit sullivanauctioneers.com. A&I Products is a lower-cost, quality replacement parts solution for all types and ages of ag equipment across all brands. Visit aiproducts.com. For farmers working to lift, change, and repair tires on their home farms, check out the Tire Grabber at thetiregrabber.com. Hey folks, welcome to Machinery Pete TV. We're in Sleepy Eye, Minnesota today, my home state out in the southwest corner of Minnesota. And I tell you, what does everybody want for a good used tractor right now? Something with a little age and low hours. And I tell you what, we've got some beauties today. Super low hour John Deere 8420, 7430 Premium, and a 6430 Premium with a loader. Now before we watch them sell, let's get back to the studio, catch up on the latest farm equipment news.
Thanks, Greg. Well, fertilizer prices are continuing to surge across the country. Take a look at this graphic from Josh Linville at StoneX Group. It shows the prices of anhydrous ammonia since October of 2020, when prices were at $310 per ton. Then October last year, when they rose to $768 per ton. And now, where they're averaging more than $1,400 per ton. So what's causing it? Well, right now experts say it's due to the Russian invasion of Ukraine, but Texas A&M Agricultural and Food Policy Center conducting a study earlier this year based on fertilizer prices in October 2021. And that study found that supply chain disruptions are also causing issues. Well, USDA just released its first winter wheat crop condition ratings of the year. Right now, the agency reports that only 30% of the crop is rated good to excellent, the lowest rating in over a decade, with 36% rated poor to very poor. Last year at this time, 53% of the crop was rated good to excellent, and at last report, the agency had said 20% of the crop was in moderate drought and 32% was in severe drought conditions. Well, a new ag economy barometer from CME Group and Purdue University took another dip. The barometer now at a reading of 113. That's the weakest farmer sentiment reading since May of 2020.
The Farm Capital Investment Index declined 6 points this month to a reading of 36. That's down from 42 last month, and that's a new all-time low for that Farm Capital Investment Index.
All right, that's it for the news. Now let's check some recent auction prices from around the country. Now back to our host, Machinery Pete.
Well, I tell you what, folks, a 10-plus-year-old tractor with low hours, one owner, that's a recipe for hot bidding. And stick around, we're going to have that here on this 09 John Deere 6430 Premium, 988 hours selling with a loader. All right, folks, beautiful tractor here, a 2009 John Deere 7430 Premium, 933 hours on it, one owner. Now, 1 month and 1 day ago, on an auction in Floyd, Iowa, we saw a 2010 model with only 345 hours on it and a loader sell for $156,450. That was over $30,000 higher than the previous I'd ever seen. And the highest I've ever seen on a 7430 Premium sold without a loader coming into today, $107,000.
127 $5, $130 $132 $5, 130 bid, 132 $5, $135 $135, 135, 132 $5, 135, 135 is the money. New York is in, Illinois you are out. Give me 137 $5. I'll take 136 Nate, 135 6, 135, 136, 137, 138, 137 now wait, now 137 give 138 39, 138 39, 138 now 9999, 138 now 9, down to 139 now 40, 139 give 140 down to 139 5 Nate, 139 139 5, 139 give 139,500 and 139 bid now 139,500, 139 5, 139 5, 139,000 is the money, give 139,500. Sold it. $139,000 goes back to New York. Goes to New York.
Hey folks, I'm here with owner Leon Hoffmann here in Sleepy Eye, Minnesota. And Leon, I see a lot of sale bills, a lot of upcoming auctions, but when I saw this one and saw these John Deere tractors, wow, they are beautiful, and they're all one owner in the 8420 just bought with 90 hours on it?
Right, 90 hours.
Wow. Now, I mean, tell us about them. They're one owner, so you weren't trading them off, you just kept them? And
my wife and I farmed here, and she probably put more hours on the 80. Well, she put, I could say, 90% of the hours on the.
That was Susan's favorite tractor, the 8420.
That was Susan's favorite tractor, the 84.
Now, why was the 8420 her favorite?
It was a big tractor. It was a quiet tractor, real nimble, and it 300 plus horsepower tractor, but it handled like a much smaller tractor.
Okay.
And it was very quiet and just a nice, easy tractor to drive.
Okay. Low hours on your 6430, your 7430, your 8420.
Yeah.
You just spread the hours around?
Yeah, what we did, we farmed, there's 400 acres on, roughly 400 acres here on the whole place, and my wife had about 400 acres up by Morgan.
I was telling Alan Henslin, I stopped in the gas station on my way out here, and some guy almost grabbed me by the shirt and said, "Beat that 4640."
Yeah.
Just beautiful. So the calls have been coming in from far and wide?
It's been a lot of calls. The 4642 was a tractor that when I bought it, I intended on buying a smaller tractor. Mm-hmm. This tractor was another farmer had passed away, and they said you had an opportunity to buy this tractor, so I did. Okay. And it was far more tractor than what I expected. Okay. But I never regretted a minute not buying it.
All right, folks, last night, the night before the sale, I was checking our Facebook page and I got a message from a dude in Oklahoma. He said, "Pete, I'm looking for a sweet John Deere 6430 for my son. You know of any coming up?" Well, I do, right here. An 09 model 6430 premium, only 988 hours on it, selling with a John Deere 673 loader.
109, 109, 110, 109, now 110 down to 110, 11, 111 down to 110, 111,000, 111,000, $111,000, 110, 111, $111,000, 110, 111, 110, now 111, 12, 111, 112, 111,000, 112, 13,000, 112, 113 down, $112, 113,000. Last call, Brad, check with him if you would. $113,000, $113,000, 112, give 112.5. Thank you, Brad. 113, Illinois. 112.5, give 113, now 5. 113.5, 113.5. 113.5, 113.5, 113.5, $14,000, 113.5, 114,000, 5, 114.5. Here we go. Let's go. 114,000. I appreciate what you did do, sir. Thank you so much. 114,000, 114,500. Sold. Illinois bound. $114,000. Palmyra, Illinois. 2188.
Here are a few more items that sold on today's sale.
81, now 81, 81, 5, 81, 81, 5, 81 bid, 81, 5, 81, down, 5, 81 bid, down, 81 down, 81,500. Solid Brad, $81,000. 13,000 down, 2.5, 2.5, 13,000 down, 250 on 13,000, 13, 2.5, 13 bid, 13, 2, but on 13,000 down, 13, 2.5. Solid, $13,000 your way, Ladon, 13,000. 36.5 Ladon, 10, 36.5, 37, 36.5, 37 down, 36.5 down, 37 down, 36.5. Give me $37,000. Anybody else? Sell it to them. 36,500. 1,800, 1,900, 1,900 down, 1,900, 1,900 down, 1,900 down, 1,900. Sold. 1,800 wait. 51, 51, down, 51, 51, down, 51, 51, 51, down, 5100. Sold it. $5 away, Brad.
For farmers working to lift, change, and repair tires on their home farms, check out the Tire Grabber at thetiregrabber.com. Your next piece of equipment is on MachineryPete.com. Search equipment from dealerships across the country to find what you're looking for. Only on MachineryPete.com.
Well, folks, you know you can check out auction prices on all types of equipment for free now at MachineryPete.com. And I tell you what, it is fascinating to navigate backwards through this data. You can go back over 20 years. So the other day I got looking back 20 years to September of 2001. And check out these prices. So back on September 14th, 2001, on a dealer auction in Pipestone, Minnesota, our friends with the Steffes Group sold a John Deere 8300 tractor, 1,464 hours on it for $62,000. And a day before that, in Mitchell, Nebraska, good folks at Hellberg and Nuss Auction and Realty sold a 1989 Case H 7140 front wheel assist Magnum with 3,348 hours on it for $33,750. So hey, anybody else like me and wish we could have a time machine and go back 20 years and buy those tractors and throw them in the shed? Because how much would they be worth now? Well, let's look at our more recent auction sale prices. And how about this? From August 18th of 2021, same auction company, the Steffes Group, had an online farm auction up in north central Illinois where another 95 model John Deere 8300, this one only had 875 actual hours on it, but it sold for $117,000, folks. All-time record high price there on a John Deere 8300, $12,000 over the previous high, which was set 10 years ago. Now, a week before that, August 12th, on a farm auction near me here in southeast Minnesota, Holland Auction Company sold another 1989 Case H 7140 front wheel assist Magnum. This one was 6,110 one owner hours on it, and it went for $54,000. So 20 years later, almost exactly double the hours, and it sells for just over $20,000 more. That shows you how red hot the market is for good used tractors right now. Well, welcome back to Tractor Tales, folks. Real treat for you this week. We're here in western Wisconsin with Bill Meyer. And Bill, you got to tell us about your 71 John Deere 4020 here.
Oh, we bought the tractor about 3 years ago. It did come with a cab, and we removed it and put the fenders and shields on. And the tires that are on it came with the tractor. The guy supposedly farmed in peat soils, that's why he had the big tires on it.
Your connection with 4020s goes back quite a ways, Bill, and kind of a unique story. You actually used to work at a John Deere dealership.
Yeah, I got out of high school in '70. We worked at a John Deere dealer for a couple years, right when they were brand new. And I drove the truck a lot of the time, so we were hauling them, moving them around.
You were delivering them out to happy buyers of brand new 70s, 71s?
When they were new. I wish I could have bought one and kept it.
Well, your 4020 looks like new here. Now I understand you did a lot of the work to it yourself?
Well, we do most of the mechanical and assembly type stuff, but we hire the paint and body work.
And now the tires, very interesting. I bet because you take this thing out on a lot of tractor rides, is that right?
We take it at least once every year on a ride.
Those tires must generate some
discussion. Between standards where they're not very common up in this area, and the tires, it usually brings people up so you get to visit. You know, it's pretty interesting, I guess.
What is it about collecting these early 70s Deere tractors, Bill, that makes it fun for you?
Well, it's kind of what I grew up with, and they're not that hard to work on. There's no electronics or none of that stuff, and just they run nice, they're smooth.
Hey, stay with us, folks. Coming up, you're not going to want to miss the feature item on our show today, this 03 John Deere 8420. This thing's only got 1,760 hours on it. And I tell you, 8420s is one of the hottest tractor models on the market.
Got equipment to sell privately but tired of scams and hassles? Visit MachineryPete.com and click Sell Mine. MachineryPete.com, the simple and secure way to buy and sell equipment online.
Hey folks, time for our feature item on the show today. Definitely worth sticking around for. We got a 2003 John Deere 8420. This thing only has 1,760 hours on it. Owner Leon Hoffmann bought it new when it had 90 hours on it. Now 10 days before the auction today, on an online farm estate auction in northeast Missouri, we saw an 05 model 8420 with 1,942 hours on it sell for $150,000, third highest auction price ever.
167.5 Wisconsin, your turn again. 167.5, 165, 167.5, 165, 167.5, 165, 167.5. I'll take 166 and 8, 165, 166, 165 down 6, 165, give 166 down 100 down 165, give 166. Low hour tractor, help yourself. I don't know where to send you to find another one. 165, 166, 167, 166, 167, on the floor is him. 166, 7, 166 down 7, 166 down 7, 7, 7, New York, you turn again, 7, 8, 167, 168, 10, 167 now 8, 167 now 8, 8, 8, 8, 167 now 8, 167, 168, 167, 8 down 8, Wisconsin, you want to do it now, 167, give 8, 167, 168, 167 now 8. Anybody else? Last call, 168. Brad, what did it say? 168, 167, 8, Wisconsin, you want to do it? 167, give 168,000. Sold. $167,000 goes to Andover, New York, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, folks, I just talk about how hot this tractor market is, and I tell you, more proof here, unbelievable. The 03 John Deere 8420, 1,760 hours, sells for $167. That's $10,000 over the highest I've ever seen, and that former record, that was 9 years ago. All right, folks, I know a lot of times, or to be honest, most times, it seems like I'm talking about record prices on super condition, low-houred, always shedded stuff. Very important, very fun to do that, but I tell you, for 32 years reporting on these prices, I don't personally care if it's an old piece of junk. We want to get those sale prices too. Those are just as important. We know somebody out there is looking to buy or sell one. So today we're going to talk older combines. Now let's start off with a 1965 John Deere 42 pull type. Now this one's actually listed for sale on our MachineryPete.com website by John Fravel of Sedalia, Missouri. He's asking $990, selling with a pair of heads. Now, John did not mention that this had been always shedded. I think he could have said it's definitely been always shaded, but great opportunity there for somebody if they want a classic 65 42 pull type. Now, if we switch gears and go to the auction market, how about this one? This Case 600 sold with a two-row corn head on a September 14th online auction in southeast Iowa. Now, it had been shedded, but had not been running for years, and it sold for $400. So, didn't bring much money, but I tell you, pretty fun to see a Case 600 combine in the wild, so to speak. Now, the thing when we talk older combines, of course, older is a relative term. I think many of you can relate to that. I know I can. But how about this? A 1988 John Deere 6620 Titan II. 2,585 hours on it. Now this sold on a farm auction August 21st near me here in southeast Minnesota by my good friends at Mering Auction Company. It went for $23,500. Now that is the highest auction price in 6.5 years to the day on a John Deere 6620 Titan II. Well, folks, almost 32 years now I've been covering auctions. I can honestly say I think those three tractors the hottest sale I've ever seen. $10,000 over the record price on an 8420, $139 on the 7430 Premium, $114 on the 6430 floater. Just incredible. That's how hot the market is right now. Tune in next week back here on Machinery Pete TV. We'll have more equipment to highlight for you. Machinery Pete thanks these premier sponsors for their support. Sullivan Auctioneers. Let our team of professionals show you how to make your auction a success. Visit sullivanauctioneers.com. A&I Products is a lower cost, quality replacement part solution for all types and ages of ag equipment across all brands. Visit aiproducts.com. For farmers working to lift, change, and repair tires on their home farms, check out the Tire Grabber at thetiregrabber.com.